Hey guys, welcome back to another Brain Hack episode, and today we're going to teach you the essential tips that you need to know to hardwire and prime your brain for learning. Alright, so the big question is, how can you learn anything quicker and easier than ever before? And now oftentimes we think of the courses, we think of the programs that can help you learn something in a quicker amount of time. But most of those are software, or what I call software upgrades, right? But a lot of times, what if it's that our brain just needs an upgrade? What if we're forgetting the most important aspect of where that software is working on, which is our brain? Now, one of the key factors that's supposedly supposed to be at the center of learning is this protein called BDNF. Now, when a child is growing and they're developing and their brain's taking in all this new information, they have some of the highest levels of BDNF floating around in their brain ever. Now, BDNF is called brain-derived neurotrophic factor. And basically, BDNF is coined as Miracle-Gro for your brain, because basically what it does is it helps the brain create new brain cells, it helps preserve healthy brain cells, and actually helps the brain create new connections within the brain. So it's thought to be one of the key resources in terms of helping the brain learn, adapt, but also keep a healthy brain. And then the BDNF that floats around in the brain also helps activate this really critical center for learning called the nucleus bacillus. Now, the nucleus bacillus is active when you think of something, maybe you went to a conference or a movie and there was something that really stuck out to you that you found incredibly interesting that you wanted to pay attention to. When that's happening, that is your nucleus bacillus being activated by BDNF. And that allows you to pay attention to whatever it is you're trying to learn. It allows you to focus more intensely on that thing and also make it stick more into your memory. So what we're going to be showing you in this video is how can you increase your levels of BDNF, not only to create the ultimate high-performance brain, but also so that you can learn anything quicker and more efficiently than ever before. Now, our brain performance and brain function is largely determined by what we put into our mouths. That's what we've talked about many times before, is the brain is super sensitive to inflammation, and inflammation starting in our gut eventually leads to inflammation in our brain, which is going to really rob you of brain performance. Now, there's a couple things that we definitely want to avoid when it comes to what we put in our mouths. Some of those are going to be sugar, gluten, lots of carbohydrates, because when you have lots of carbohydrates, that eventually turns back into sugar and can really bog down brain performance. The other one is high mercury fish. High mercury fish is like tuna, things like that, shark, can actually be really bad for our brain because that mercury is very toxic to our bodies and especially to our brains. Other ones are like trans fat, processed foods, things like that. If you're having to go down the aisles or you're finding things that are processed or have lots of trans fat in them, they're really going to wreck your brain performance. Now, things you definitely want to include, because it's not just about getting the bad stuff out, we got to make sure we're putting the good stuff in. Good things will be like the dark leafy greens, broccoli, kale, spinach, arugula, things like that are super great for your brain, also great for detoxification. Other ones are going to be blueberries. Blueberries are super good for you, very low in sugar as well, so you're just going to get a brain boost with also less of a sugar spike. Dark chocolate even is great. Avocados have tons of healthy fats that are really great to build a healthy brain. Eggs as well, which also have lots of healthy fats, but also are a great source of choline, which is essential to building your neurotransmitters, which help the brain function. And also Alaskan caught salmon, which is very crucial for healthy omegas, DHA that help build a healthy brain as well. Now, if you want a full, more in-depth list of the top brain foods to include for optimal high-performance brain, I say go over to freebrainboost.com, and there we have a free ebook for you that has the top 13 foods that you should be including into your everyday routine to maximize your brain potential. All right, so the next one that we've talked about on many different Brain Hack episodes, we've talked about on the podcast, is to move often. We obviously know how important moving and getting our workouts in are so important for creating vibrant health, but in terms of creating the ultimate high-performance brain, moving and getting workouts in are going to be absolutely essential for many different reasons. One, we know that it stimulates neurogenesis, which helps your brain create new brain cells. As we talked about earlier, it stimulates BDNF in your body by substantial amounts, especially high-intensity exercise. Also, it floods the brain with oxygen, which is an essential nutrient for the brain to be able to function properly. Also provides lots of nutrients, because when you work out and you get that blood flow going, it is going to send tons of nutrients to stimulate the brain. But also on top of that, movement in the spine, especially while you're working out, actually stimulates the brain in a way that actually kind of charges the brain's battery through that movement, which is really essential. But lastly is that it also stimulates endorphins in the brain. So one, this is going to secrete lots of serotonin, which makes you feel really good, improves your mood, improves your behavior, but it's also been shown to improve your brain performance. And the second one is dopamine. Now, the really interesting thing about dopamine is not only does it make you feel great, but it also actually solidifies new learning, solidifies new memories so that you can retain information longer. All right, so the other tip for maximizing your brain for learning is to get plenty of vitamin D. Now, especially in this brain optimization world, there's been a lot of talk about nootropics, these different supplements that can optimize your brain performance. Vitamin D may very well be the best, but also the absolute cheapest, being that it's free in natural sunlight, nootropic available, and it does some pretty substantial things for our brain. One is it provides what's called a neuroprotective effect. Basically, it means it protects our brain from the everyday wear and tear of stress from our lifestyle on our brains. The other thing is it actually lowers inflammation too. So getting healthy amounts of vitamin D can help lower inflammation, not just in your body, but also in your brain, which helps to maximize your brain potential. And also in a recent study, it was shown that lower levels of vitamin D also showed low levels of cognitive function, which basically means low levels of brain power, which is not what you want. But also when you get this natural sunlight on your body, it actually helps to reset your circadian rhythm. There's something really interesting that happens when your eyes actually see natural sunlight. It helps to basically set the clock in your body, which will also help improve your sleep. Now, the last tip to really maximizing your brain for learning and really priming your brain so you can learn anything more efficiently and easier is to get some great quality sleep. It's so important, as we talked about on a previous brain hack episode, because what happens is while you sleep, your glymphatic system, which is basically the lymphatic system for your brain, is the most active. Now imagine as you go throughout the day, your brain is acting sort of like a muscle. It's taking all the stress, the projects, and all the things that you got to do throughout the day, and it's working. And as it starts to work and as it starts to go throughout your day, it's building up this lactic acid. It's building up stress, inflammation, and toxins in the brain. It's thought to be one of the main reasons why we need sleep is for the glymphatic system to flush all these toxins, to flush all that lactic acid out of the brain so that the brain can restart in the next day and be able to work efficiently. Now, it's been shown if you don't get great quality sleep, it's been shown to impair your memory, your cognitive function, especially the next day. So very important to get great quality sleep so that you can maximize your brain for your optimal learning. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Brain Hacks. Now you have all the tools and tips you need to maximize the hardware, which is your brain, to maximize your learning so that you can learn anything more efficiently and easier than ever before. And before you leave, make sure you do me a favor, subscribe by hitting that red button below. Just do it.